There's a fine line between loyalty and stubbornness, and Tom Thibodeau is dancing on it with steel-toed boots. No team in the NBA has leaned more heavily on a single starting five than the New York Knicks. The quintet of Jalen Brunson, Josh Hart, Mikal Bridges, OG Anunoby, and Karl Anthony Towns logged a staggering 940 minutes together during the regular season, more than any other lineup in the league by a landslide. Only two other lineups even came close to half that workload. It's vintage Thibs. The man rides his top players like a cowboy in a cattle drive. Throughout his 12 full seasons as an NBA head coach, one of his players has led the league in minutes per game on 4 different occasions. Even when they don't top the leaderboard, several always lurk near it. His 2018 Timberwolves starters led the NBA in total minutes played, and that obsession with keeping the best on the court might now cost Thibodeau his first ever trip to the NBA Finals. The Knicks, down 0-2 to the Indiana Pacers after a crushing 114 to 109 Game 2 loss at Madison Square Garden, are staring at a pivotal moment. And the data is screaming in unison, this starting lineup isn't working. Here's the maddening truth. Nearly every lineup Thibodeau has thrown out in the playoffs has shown promise. Of the 18 most used combinations, 12 are sporting a positive point differential. Another is breaking even. 3 of the 5 negative lineups have been outscored by single digits, and 1 has logged a mere 11 minutes, but then there's the 5th. The elephant in the locker room. You guessed it. The starting 5. The group Thibodeau continues to roll with has played 308 playoff minutes and been outscored by 50 points. That kind of stat isn't just bad, it's historically disastrous. Since lineup data began being tracked in 2008, only 7 lineups across the league have posted a minus 50 or worse in a single postseason. Only one of those played more than 200 minutes. Why? Because teams that see their starters sinking like an anchor usually pull the plug. If they don't, they get bounced before they can dig themselves deeper. But Thibodeau, ever the creature of habit, keeps steering into the storm. Back in December, this group looked unstoppable, boasting a plus 63 differential in 241 minutes. But since then, mediocrity. They haven't cleared a plus 15 margin in any month. And in 4 of the Knicks' 12 playoff games, they've been outscored by double digits. In Game 1 against Indiana, the Knicks outscored the Pacers by 13 in all non-starting lineups. They still lost the game by 3 because the starters cratered with a minus 16. Thibodeau, when asked about possible adjustments before Game 2, gave the typical coach speak. Everything is always on the table. Everything, it seems, except actually changing what isn't working. Thibodeau trotted out the same lineup to start Game 2, and within 7 minutes and change, they were outscored by 8. The bench units rallied to take a 3-point lead into halftime. But like clockwork, Thibodeau went back to the starters in the third quarter. 7 more minutes, 7 more bruises to the scoreboard. That lead turned into a deficit. The frustrating part? He did make the adjustment later in the game. With bench players in the mix, the Knicks clawed back, but by then, the damage had already been done. Through 2 games, the Knicks are a plus 21 without the starting 5 on the floor. Yet they trail 0-2. Mikal Bridges said post-game that the starters might be playing too soft at the beginning of halves. That's putting it lightly. This lineup is hemorrhaging on defense, posting a 117.6 defensive rating, a figure that would rank 26th over a full season. It's ironic. Thibodeau built his reputation on hard-nosed, suffocating defense, and the 2 reserves who've been excelling defensively, Miles McBride and Mitchell Robinson, have been stuck in supporting roles. Indiana's offense thrives on versatility and ball handling. Hart, while valiant as a helper, lacks the on-ball pressure McBride brings. Plus, he clogs spacing that Towns and Brunson desperately need. His hustle is better suited off the bench, where his energy can shift momentum. Then, there's Mitchell Robinson. The Pacers were 28th in rebounding rate this season, and Robinson is a cheat code in that department. When he's on the floor, the Knicks are grabbing 58.8% of available rebounds. When he sits, that number plummets to 50.5%. Yet, Thibodeau brings him off the bench, forcing him to play long, exhausting stretches without relief. In Game 2, Robinson logged 29 minutes, his highest all postseason. But most came consecutively. He entered late in the first half and didn't sit until the end of the second quarter. That's 16 straight minutes for a guy who returned from injury just a few months ago. Predictably, he wore down. New York was plus 13 during Robinson's first half minutes. They were minus 7 in the second half. If he started, Thibodeau could